Today, I'm interviewing a private practice therapist named Haley. She's a former client of ours who built a $10,000 per month private practice. And I'm going to break down exactly how she did it, how she embraced entrepreneurship, and how she set herself up for, an amazing quality of life, serving clients to a very high extent, and setting her up for group practice in the future. Enjoy. Welcome in, everyone. I'm here with Haley. Haley owns a wonderful practice in Arlington, right? And
Yes.
in Dallas, working with couples. And today we're gonna be revealing all the secrets for, what does it look like to actually be a six-figure therapist? How did she do it? And how can more people do it in the future? Okay, so
Oh,
Haley, welcome. Glad to have you here.
thank
Thanks for taking
you.
the time.
It's great to be here.
Wonderful. Well, so Haley started working with us a bit last year and sort of bolstering up her practice, but she already had a practice since COVID, right? When you started this.
Mhm.
Can you tell everyone a little bit about your practice, what you kind of stand for, what your mission, vision, and values are?
Yeah. So I work with couples and I do a lot of trauma work. And um, my mission is to help marriages and families. And so um,
Okay, so Haley, you work with couples, right? That's kind of your passion. That's something that you said
mhm,
you've always felt like you wanted to work with, or it's something that's been in your past, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think classic therapists where we have our own baggage and childhood things that kind of make us parentified fixers, people pleasers, like from the beginning. And so did a lot of work on that in grad school and trying not to bring that into my practice. But that really was kind of what gave me I think the passion and maybe even the kind of unhealthy skill set from the beginning that now I've kind of learned how to professionalize and go into just really helping people to have better marriages, better communication, be able to feel loved in their relationships and calm down their nervous systems. And so that's what I'm really passionate about and really enjoy helping do day in and day out. So,
Wonderful. Okay, so that's awesome. And then you went into private practice. We were talking a little bit earlier off camera, and this is back in COVID time, right? And left. You were working in an agency. You left to kind of go out on your own. You already had some clients.
yeah.
And then what was the first thing that you did when you did start your practice? What was kind of the first steps that you took?
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, because of COVID, everybody was online. And then I had my daughter. And so I took some time off. And as I was getting back in, things were kind of slow, kind of just getting back in there and wanted to get people in person again. And that was one of my goals. But I decided to go ahead and hire a business coach to just kind of help me work through mindset stuff and help get get me prepared to launch getting people in person again because it had been a few years. And then right after I started launching people in person again is when I hired BYP. And yeah, the rest is
And then
history.
things grew even more.
Yes,
Okay,
they
cool.
grew.
So let me ask you then. You already had some clients. You had consistent income in the practice. Why
Mhm.
did you want to work with us specifically?
Yeah, I wanted to grow, and one of my goals was to make it a six-figure practice. And my husband is a business coach, and he had seen y'all's advertisement, and he spoke with you a little bit, Griffin. And
Yeah.
he came back to me and was like, "Haley, you got to do this. This would be a great thing." And we had already been talking, kind of personally in our relationship. Like I needed to stop, being his therapist, and he needed to stop being my business coach. And so that was a really good switch for us. And I knew it was verified thumbs up by him. And so I went with you guys, and it was very helpful for me.
That's
So
wonderful. Okay, so he convinced you into it, into doing it.
yeah.
Tell us what happened. Like when you kind of got in to working with our team, what were the sort of the steps that you took?
Yeah. So when I got started with you guys, actually right around that time, my practice started blowing up and I didn't really know why. And I wanted to make sure that I knew that I could control what was happening in the future.
Hmm.
And so I think you guys really helped me get a good idea of what are the things that I had been doing previously that had started to pay off for me right around that time. And also, I would say that the coaching and all the different lessons that you guys gave in the program really helped me kind of have some confidence for all the new leads that were coming in, that I knew what I was doing with them. I knew that I could increase or decrease the flow. Also, just kind of like lessening the pressure on myself, that because I knew what the right levers to pull or not pull, that if I had I don't know, that things weren't just gonna go away if I did the wrong thing, and they weren't gonna stop for forever, which I think was one of the fears when things really started picking up,
Yeah.
that,
Hmm.
"Oh, I could screw this up and miss my opportunity," or something dumb like that, so
Yeah, it's an important thing. It's like there's inputs and there's outputs, right? But if it's like as you said, if you don't know what the inputs are that create the outputs of new clients or new revenue, then you can feel really lost. Even if you're successful, for a month, you don't know if it's going to sustain. So it sounds like you were able to understand how to grow at the rate that you wanted, right? And how to make the flow match what sort of the allowable spots in your
yeah,
practice.
definitely. Yeah, and the coaching was super helpful too. I think it also gave me good perspective to see just kind of like what other therapists are doing, and even I was trying to get better at tracking the numbers, and I hired an administrator and all of those things, and I don't know that I would have had the confidence that I was again, just that I was taking the right steps, or that I even knew what I was doing. But having people who had gone through private practice before and had grown it really successfully, and just you guys having like the numbers, or this is generally what people do. I don't know, even just like some of the general, it's like you don't know what you don't know. And
Hmm.
so getting exposed to what is known and what people do was very, very helpful for me, and giving me confidence that, okay, I am taking a lot of the right steps. And if I do a little more of this, or if I raise my prices, or if I don't know, just lots of different things. And then also, I think I hadn't given myself credit for the organic marketing that I had
Hmm.
been doing previously. And you guys also gave me a lot of great ideas for if I ever wanted to amp that up even more.
Hmm.
Because I hired an administrator, and there are lots of things that, she could help me with on that end as well. And so you gave me a lot of great ideas, and you helped me define what I was doing before, because I had done a bunch of speaking gigs, and I had started working more and like running. I had created a course to help MFT students pass the licensing exam. And so I was advertising for that, and like doing a lot of speaking at my
Yeah.
alma
Hmm.
mater. And, all of that just created like momentum and networking. And then people were referring to me. And I don't think I gave that a lot of credit. I credit it maybe with like boosting my confidence, but then it was like 6 months after having put in all of that work, the leads just started coming in like crazy. And I don't think I would have put two and two together, that was a direct um
Yep.
response to those things. And you guys really helped me see that.
It's something that I feel like I talk to clinicians a lot on is exactly that. It's like understanding what the data is supposed to be. So, an example I talk about a lot is like the advertising campaign and how many inquiries we're supposed to get and what's the landing page conversion rate. But it's like, I know that because we see it like hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
If you're doing it yourself, like you don't know what good is, right? You don't know
Right.
when to
Right.
let the foot off the gas, when to put the foot on the gas in different areas.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah.
that was super helpful for me too. Like, speaking of, like, my husband does business coaching, but he would give me all of this advice, and I was really afraid to take it because I wasn't sure it was personalized enough to our field.
Hmm.
And then there's all the ethical stuff too. And so I would be like, no, I can't run that ad, or I can't say that thing, or I can't do the social media thing without the disclaimer, because what if I get into legal trouble? And you guys helped me feel confident about things that I was just nervous about for no good reason. And then also like you had done it so many times. And so I knew, okay, these are things that I can calm down about, or if I do it in this way, then, um, you know,
Then it
born
is
approved.
okay, right?
Yeah, it
Because
is
it's
okay.
like, this is the thing is as well, like for marketing for therapists is like you can't do the same stuff as other industries.
Yeah,
Like we're not running discounts, to like get people in. It's like
right,
we have to be smart and very intentional in terms of the messaging, but also we can market, we don't have to
right.
sit
Yeah,
back and wait and hope that people call in, right?
yeah.
We
And they
can
don't
do a
train
lot.
you for any of that in grad school.
Yeah,
So yeah.
as they should. But okay, so you got in, your practice kind of just exploded. I remember because it became a little bit harder for you to make some of the live calls that we have because you got full and you have a brand. I mean, when did the baby get born? You have a new child that also takes a lot of attention.
Yes,
In
yes.
addition to growing this practice.
Yeah.
So you kind of just exploded. What did it kind of look like in terms of your caseload a little bit before you started to a couple months later?
Yeah, I would say, okay, and this is something I'm still growing in, is like remembering the details and keep being really like aware of the numbers and all of that. But I want to say like I was working very part-time before, so maybe like 5 to 15 sessions a week. And then when it started to blow up, it was like 20 to 25, sessions every week. And again, like I said, I still have my daughter and I was trying to still spend a lot of time with her. And so trying to figure out availability, and I work with couples. And so, I see a lot of them after work so that they can both be available. And um so yeah, that was a big transition when it all just started coming in, and trying to fit everybody in, and not have to book people a whole month out or whatever. So
Cool. So working on, yeah, managing time management became sort of the the limiter. Okay. And then tell us a little bit about like hiring the admin and like learning to, I know we had a conversation several months back about, yeah, buying back your time and, really kind of stepping into being an entrepreneur. What was that process like for you?
yeah, yeah, I think the whole like working smarter, not harder, but also working harder. Like actually being willing to I think before, and I know a lot of people are different than this, but I think sometimes the entrepreneurial mindset is like, oh, I've got my freedom, so it'll be easier, or I don't have to put as much work in. But taking the consistent action and the consistent steps, and I love that in y'all's program you talk about that like right out of the gate, that the faster you take these actions, like the faster you make progress. And so anyway, I got off on your question, but I started taking those actions, but then also working smarter and not harder. So the buying back your time. Oh, you asked about my admin. So yeah, I knew that that was something that I wanted to do. Obviously, I think a lot of us don't get into therapeutic work because we love the clerical administrative side of it.
Yeah.
But especially with trying to manage my household and be with my daughter and run the practice and grow the practice and have all these dreams for it. There was just a lot of balls to juggle. And so the buy back your time principle was super helpful in the sense that, okay, if I'm making, 150, $175 an hour, if I could do that, I if I could just see one more client and I could pay somebody, $10 an hour to help me answer the phones, book the leads, do the lead nurture, do the scheduling, help me with all of that back end stuff, then it's well worth my time. And you guys helped me with that too. It was something that I already was like, I need help with the administrative side. I need to save my time. But just kind of some of the leadership things too. I remember talking with my coach about that. I've never been anybody's boss, and I want to make sure
Hmm.
that I'm a good boss and that I show up well for them. And so you guys helped me kind of take those steps too.
Cool. Okay. And so what does it kind of look like these last couple of months? you were telling me a little bit off camera, but tell us about where's the practice at kind of consistently revenue wise? What's your caseload at pretty consistently? What's the rates at? Like, tell us about that.
Yeah. So, y'all encouraged me to raise my rates. And so I have a sliding scale between 125 to 175. And I am making consistently about 10K, sometimes more a month. There's like a little bit of variability in that. But even just like from June was when things started blowing up and I got on board with you guys to December, like not even counting the, well, yes, counting, but I had been working very part time. By the end of the year, we had made 100K, and so that was really exciting to hit that milestone. Really, only having been pushing it hard for 6 months, and so we're projected now to, if we stick with those numbers and we're growing the way that that it looks like we're growing, and do a couple of extra things that I have planned this year, we should even have that double this year, which is really exciting.
That's super exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
So growth begets growth, right? And
Yes.
you're getting more and more opportunity. So the top rate's at 175 right
Yeah.
now.
Hmm.
Maybe it'll be at 200 in the near future. We'll see.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
We'll see. Okay. And tell everyone, and this is not something that everyone wants to move into, but we've had a lot of conversations about maybe group practice, and maybe kind of extending out too. Can you tell us your current thoughts around that? Because to me, that really is the sort of next level of stepping up as a community leader, stepping up into the next sort of level. Tell us what your thoughts are around that.
Yeah. I would love to be able to mentor and supervise. Actually, I have this your supervision training. I just need to apply for the license, but be able to supervise and help the field grow. And then um and get to just expand the brand and the vision and the reach of what we're doing, helping more couples through helping therapists help more couples. And so that's a really exciting vision for me. And I don't know that I would have had the confidence to do that. But again, because you guys have done it and seen it 100 times, and even just, I know you and I had a good conversation one time and you like gave me the numbers and told me, okay, like practically, if you could just do this every month, then this is possible and this is how you do it. And even just getting to see that glimmer of it, it's like, this is very possible. I can do this with my little skill set, not having real business training. We can do something really cool. So
100%. Yeah. And I will continue to speak that into you because you can. Yeah. So we might see it. We might see it this year. This might be
yeah,
some big moves
hopefully.
this year into hiring that first clinician and expanding. Because look, like it's the same skill sets that you have to learn to fill up your own practice in terms of marketing, in terms of organization, but you have to throw hiring and managing on top of it. Right now, it's hard because people are a little bit crazy sometimes. But if you hire well, you can build something that's really wonderful and allows you to kind of, make money without having to do direct sessions as well. And you can do both, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's something we'll talk about even further into this year. Well, cool. Haley, any words of advice you would give to people that are wanting to make six figures in their own practice, wanting to build a private pay caseload and do great work? What would you say, or even speak to your younger self in this?
Yeah. Okay, there's so many things that you could say. The one of the things that I am just excited about right now, and it might be silly and dumb, but that buy back your time principle is so cool. And I think there's such a I used to have such a mentality around money, like the more you scrimp, the more you save, the more you can DIY it, the more you can do it yourself, the better, right? And my mindset has completely changed that if you can spend money on somebody who can do something for you at a lower cost, then you can make yourself, then you can provide more value for more people and you can save yourself more time. And so, I mean, right now I have a laundry service that like does my laundry for me because I realized I was spending 8 hours a week doing laundry. And if I saw even just 2 more clients, or even if I saw 1 more client, I can pay for my laundry for the whole month. And, just
Wow.
different things like that. Um, yeah, it's crazy when you actually do the math and you actually think about it and stop having that hoarding mentality, and have just like some faith that in the network around you, in the fact that people want to pay for a high quality service, and when you're more relaxed and you can actually give your attention to your craft and to the thing that you are the best at, then you're freed up to do that for people, and then people will pay you for it and appreciate it. And it just, the cycle of, like you said, more begets more. And so that has been kind of a, I don't know, a life-changing mindset for me.
Yeah. Well,
um
I will say like it resonates with me, and obviously I am an entrepreneur who's had to consistently practice that. But like when I came out of college, I just learned how to save money, how to spend less,
mhm.
and I learned, like yeah, exactly. Like, if you can save $10 here, you can do, then that's how you create the margin and you win. But it took
But
me
that's what everybody's
years.
doing.
Yeah. And that's why they're all not ahead, right? Is
Right,
because
right.
you can only
And you're scared.
save to a certain amount. You
Yeah.
can't get to zero because you still got rent to pay, you've got electricity, you've got water, you've
Yep.
got the very, very basics, and they still cost a bunch of money. But
Yeah.
you can earn infinitely, right? And as you said,
Yeah.
$175 for a session, and that can pay for how much laundry to be done for you.
Right.
And it's it's a ton of your time that you now get back to spend with your family, or just spend on
Right.
business stuff, or just spend on whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's tremendously impactful. And I will say, at every scale of your business, you learn how to do that more, right? You learn how to
Mhm.
continue to basically give more responsibility to other people to do the most important work, so that you can
Yeah.
continue to grow and expand yourself. So I'm glad you're
Yeah.
learning that, and seeing that firsthand and applying it, right? Because most people are
Yeah.
even scared to do that.
Yeah. It's really exciting and freeing when you're actually doing it. you know.
So cool.
Sometimes I don't even think it's fair. I'm like, I get to I get to just work on my business and spend time with my daughter. What?
I know, it's kind of crazy once you get to the other end of it, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely possible for more people. Wonderful. Well, Haley, well, thanks for being here. Yeah, everyone, if you want to check out Haley, you can probably find her at what,
Yeah,
Greater House Counseling.
greaterhousecounseling.com.
Hmm.
And thank you guys for just all the help that you've given me, and I know to tons of clinicians out there, because the better our mental health is, the more we can actually help
Yeah,
other people. And so you guys are helping even more people than you get to talk to. So
I know.
we appreciate
I,
it.
I do believe it actually impacts the clinical work if you're a better business owner,
Absolutely.
if you have boundaries around your business and everything else, and you have the skill sets, you know what you're doing, you feel confident and clear on your future. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you feel that way, Haley. Cool. Well, everyone, hope you enjoyed this conversation. There's going to be more people ahead, and everyone, if you check in on Haley, it's been 2 years later. We'll see if she jumps into group practice, and we'll see the extent to which she grows. I think it's going to be great, though. So, okay. With
Yeah. I'm
that,
excited.
yeah.
Thank
With
you.
that,